Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my sixth episode of what I've called my mental health podcast. It's roughly my journey and my learning experience when it comes to what I have experienced with my mental health in my life. I have, for a long time, struggled with depression, bipolar disorder, mania, and if I can share anything that helps anybody else on their journey, then it's helping me also. It's a form of service work for me. So let's get started on today's Christmas Eve edition and episode number 6. All right, thank you everybody for being here. And I'd like to first give a little disclaimer that I am not a medical professional. I am not a certified therapist. What I say here is for educational purposes only. Intended. Please use common sense for your own body, and please use the knowledge of your trusted medical professionals to evaluate anything going on with you, as is that's what I've had to do over the years and just stick to it. So there's my intro. Today's three things today that I am grateful for are: one, a new holiday routine that I am starting this Christmas. Two, I'm just grateful for the weather. It is not a blizzard outside. I might go for a bike ride here in a little bit. Um, it is just really nice out for Christmas Eve. And I am grateful for my health today. I have been feeling a little bit better through the holiday season, and I am very grateful for that. Moving on to, I usually do 3 things that are recyclable, but I'm just going to do a quick talk on recycling issues. So, one thing in regards to recycling is the amount that people aren't aware of what can and can't and where to recycle. So just remember, everybody, lighters, batteries, single use plastic bags, all of these things are recyclable, but not in the mainstream recycling, and they shouldn't be going into the landfill. Now, I'm at odds with this because we've already done so much damage. Like, what am I going to be, um, how much can I add to this just by telling people what to recycle? And so if everybody started, I don't know that it would make much of a difference. So the higher priority items: batteries, lighters, um, single use plastic bags. So batteries and lighters, that's batteries, Staples, and other outlets like that will have a recycling point. Lighters, they recommend, it's actually, you should look up in your local hazardous material um, uh, whatever you have in your local town or government or municipality, see if they have a hazardous material drop off point. And single use plastic bags, I know that Walmart does a very good job at collecting. It's either Walmart or Meijer. They have a point inside that you can connect with and bring all of your single use plastic bags to be used up properly, because they are on all of some use. But when you put them with other recyclable things in the mainstream flow, it makes some things not recyclable and can be not well for the environment, kind of a double-edged knife. Um, that's what worries me about the EVs and everything coming up. And I don't hopefully the industry expands with the technology quick enough. I'm working on a small startup myself, and I'm trying to, at a very local size, reduce the footprint we have um, here in Holland, Michigan. So hopefully that's something I can roll out soon. And that is my minute or so of recycling talk. And if there's any viewers just joining in, today the recap is Christmas Eve edition. Instead of my normal 10 a.m., I was running behind. I scheduled for 11:15, but going back to next week, I believe 10 a.m. every Tuesday, I'll be here live to share some thoughts with you. And so far today, we've went through my normal intro and disclaimer. I'm not a medical professional. This is my mental health journey and experience to advocate mental health awareness. I'm grateful for, gratitude is an action word, and recycling is also. And let's not forget that we can also repurpose instead of just recycling. And we can do that right in home. If save jars, wash jars, instead of getting new containers. What can you use your empty jars for? Stuff like that. So now on to where I wanted to be, just about 7 minutes in. Now we're on to the bulk of today and the main topic, in that I guess the root of it, and for me, is to not isolate. I struggle not only with seasonal depression, but normal depression, but also along with my mother dying just over 4 years ago this past summer. While she was alive in my life, it was really hard. She struggled, and one of the holidays that was always evoked a struggle in her, I guess now that I see it in a different light, is she had her struggles also during Christmas. And so it was passed on, as I've said before, her and I butting heads with our mental illness. And so Christmas became a hard one for me after she died, because not only was it hard before, but it became harder after she passed away. Because now, on top of the normal memories, there was the longing and the grieving of the loss of my mother and of my mother. And I realized for quite, the last 3 years that, and I've brought this up before about wanting to call her and not being able to, even if we fight. So I've realized that regardless of how terrible Christmases were, I still miss her, and it's almost like, okay, I would rather have a terrible Christmas than um not have my mom on Christmas. And so it's been really hard, and the healing journey is tough. I go to counseling every other Friday. I just switched it to that, but I already think after a couple months I need to go back to every Friday. Um, it's definitely difficult to do sometimes, but it is very, very helpful. I can't stress enough how much I appreciate and advocate for talk therapy. That's one of the main reasons that I'm doing this, is just to be able, it's, audible journaling in my head. And it's the perspective of it is right up my alley. I can't journal quick enough as my thoughts. Sometimes I can keep a steady head and pass on the thoughts clearly. So talk therapy is wonderful. It's helped me quite a bit as I struggle with loss of a parent during um, altogether and during holidays. Not to get too far sidetracked. So the main thing I want to share is the decision not to isolate today. Up until a couple days ago, I was sure that today needed to be um, by my own. I didn't wake up with the urge to drink. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling healthy. And um, I can already tell that making the decision I did a couple days ago in the sense that I decided to take my sister up on an offer and take the ride, and she, for the first time, I can't remember the last time my sister and I were together on Christmas. That bridge took a while to unburn, and also it was her mother, so she's been going through her grieving process as well in the last 4 years, along with a husband and two wonderful daughters. And that's what I can't stress enough about this decision was I boiled it down to in my determination that I could either do something I was very familiar with and isolate and stay home. Of course, I would have made a meeting or two. Still going to tonight. Very excited about that. But I decided not to isolate from my family. I decided to take the words and the trust that I'm doing as good as I am, and I've rebuilt that connection with my older sister that I can enjoy going. She's picking me up, and I'm gonna go with the whole family to church, and after that we're meeting um our father and stepmother, father and mother, but I say stepmother just for the confusion since I talk a lot about my biological mother passed on. It's mom one and mom two. There's no difference. It's moms, right? Stepmoms are moms, dads are moms, moms are dads. Just we just all need to take care of each other. All right, back on topic. Deciding to go and do that and then participate in dinner with our parents now and to not isolate already feels like a huge step in the right direction. And I feel very privileged that I'm capable to do this and to pass this on. Um, I hope people listening can understand that whatever they're going through, there's somebody going through it also. We're not the only ones. We're not special in the sense that this only happens to us. Um, it's definitely my experience that the more I open up across different platforms and different avenues, the more positive feedback I get that reiterates, makes me feel very comfortable with what I just said that we're not alone. We all suffer and we can all be happy and we can all win together also. So understanding that humans are humans, colors only skin deep, and this is a world now of a melting pot of everybody in it, and we just have to understand equality, and we have to understand how to take care of the world, and we have to understand first and foremost how to take care of ourselves so that we can make these decisions in our own journeys. And my mental health journey has been a long one. I appreciate everybody who's been part of my life. I formally apologize in the moment for anybody it's affected negatively. And the reason I'm doing this, like I said, is that it helps me just as much as going to my counselor and talking things out with a sounding board. Right now, the sounding board before a live podcast is in my notes and in the stuff that I get ready to prepare. It's in my thumbnail. So this as a hobby that I'm going to continue, um, for anybody who's just joining us every Tuesday live at 10 a.m. is so I continue with consistency and continue with something that is functioning as a healthy part of my life and a healthy outlet for my energy. Anybody who knows me knows how I run. I run pretty high energy. I was actually just turned down from donating plasma this morning because I got there and I even got a ride there. This is insane. I got there, I got a ride there, I chilled. My resting heart rate while they took my vitals was 115. I went and sat down and pretended I was Jim Carrey and the Pet Detective, right? Whatever. And I'm probably look silly as hell in the donation area, and as I do breathing exercises and try. So I did very well. I got it down to 105 after 10 minutes, but still wasn't enough. So on that note, remember how important paying attention to your body is and being aware, breathing exercises, your mentality, anxiety, time of day. Just remember it can change that quickly, and I kind of felt like my heart was racing, but I wouldn't have never guessed it was 115, right? Um, so being aware is very nice. I know a lot of people have these smartwatches that record those type of metrics, and now they have rings and stuff. I had to get rid of my smartwatch. I had a Fitbit, and when I lost my mind, or when I when I kind of went insane and had a very terrible manic episode years ago, I became obsessed with my metrics, and it was insane. I could watch my heart rate, and um, apologize for the younger viewers, but okay. So as activities went, as you exercise, you see your heart rate come and go as you do exercises. Well, there's other adult activities that are physically exhausting and things that happen to us that I could notice on my Fitbit. Uh, After I had lost my job and continued going the rest of the way insane, the Fitbit broke, and I soldered it together as much as I could. I should find those old pictures. Me, like, and it was so dumb. It was such a cheap Fitbit, but I kept doing what I could and replacing the charging port and became completely obsessed. So let's remember that sometimes we're paying too much attention. Like after this, I plan to upload this. And then, as I said, what I've got going on with my day, after I leave the house, I decided I'm putting my phone in my pocket. I'm not checking views. I'm not checking subscriber counts. I'm not, today it's going to be turned into a pager or just what it's supposed to be, a phone. If somebody, I'll answer phone calls, text, but I'm deciding right now, and I decided this obviously before the podcast, that I am not going to let today be like a neurotic thing to check statistics and whatnot. So um, it's another healthy thing for me to do as I'm understanding the downtime and the limits I need to have on my screen time, especially before going to sleep. And audience of mine, with that being said, we are at 19 and a half minutes. I am going to keep it short and quickly reiterate what I went through, that no matter what, just like throughout the day, we have a chance to reset our mindset, to start over. Today, as a holiday, is the day I'm choosing to start over and to make better choices, not isolating, reconnecting with family, spending time with people that matter. And most of all, I'm not going to feel sorry for myself today because I'm grateful for everything I have and everything I'm going to have and everything I've had and everything I don't have. And I'm grateful for you, YouTube, for letting me broadcast myself. Please, if you have any questions or comments or topic suggestions, email mental health awareness with FAF at gmail.com. That should be spelled out in my description. I have a GoFundMe you can find on my page, and I would like to end with asking anybody who sees this to try something. After you listen to this podcast, just think of 3 things you're grateful for. And if you can't do 3 things, think of 1 thing you're grateful for. And just pay attention to how that gratitude makes you feel inside. And with that, ladies, gentlemen, his and hers, goodbye. Merry Christmas. I'd like to wish everybody a happy holiday season, whatever you celebrate. Please check out my channel. And again, what are you grateful for? And how can that impact you having a better day? Thank you very much. Take care.